The Christmas Special, Final Ending, Part 1 down below. Once again, we are riding the emotional roller coaster. Last night was a big drop, then this morning it feels like things have been leveling out. And hopefully moving back up. Counseling tonight will hopefully be positive and put us back on an uphill swing, 2 steps forward. 1 step back. We are in week 6 past D-Day. With the heightened awareness and constantly feeling on guard, the past 6 weeks have been the longest of my life. It feels like months have gone by. I wonder how long it takes until the hypersensitivity calms down and you begin to feel normal during the day or during the night trying to sleep. I think I need to get more sleep. My wife thinks I am pushing her away. This is insane and difficult and gut-wrenching, and I am so tired. Counseling was okay. He gave us some things to work on to help me better understand my wife's needs and feelings. She left feeling completely grilled with questions. And she feels like she is the one who is in the wrong now, especially with her actions regarding the other guy she is talking to and hanging out with. She still insists they are just friends, but it pisses her off that I am the one who cheated, and now we just spent nearly an entire counseling session talking about her and what she is doing. I don't know how to keep this up, but my only other option is not having her in my life, which causes even more pain within me. I believe that she does want me to fight. She told me she doesn't want a divorce. It scares her that I have changed my behavior and spend time with her when I was so disconnected before. But I have to keep pushing forward. I will keep fighting. Your words are inspiring to me to just keep being a good husband, being there for her, and doing anything I can. She told me at first that I was saving face by sticking around, and I need to prove to her that is not the case. I have no face to save. I have nothing except for my actions from this moment forward to show her who I am and who I can be. I am able to closely relate to your husband with the guilt and self-deprecation. I look in the mirror and see the man who betrayed my wife, and I am sick with guilt and inward hatred. I need to get past this. But it is difficult, without my guilt looming. I would be able to be a better husband right now. The selfishness of the affair, and my own struggles with self-indulgent behavior in general make it hard for me to step away from my own pain and really put my all into understanding my wife's pain. Growing as a human being and becoming more empathetic will be a huge stop in this process for me. Understanding my wife more fully was the crux of last night's counseling session. And I feel prepared to really get to the bottom of how she is feeling, and what I need to do to help her work through those emotions. I know I can be a good husband, and above that, I know I can be her good husband. It will take time and time and time in order to prove to her that my actions are genuine, that my feelings are real, and that I am truly in our marriage 100%. My wife and I have a vacation planned at the end of July that we are both a little shy about really going on. We will be 2.5 months past D-Day at that point, and I have no clue where we will be emotionally and mentally with each other at that point. We are playing it by ear. My IA went on for 3 years. That is embarrassing to write, but for half of my marriage I have had another person dragged along through emails and infrequent in-person interaction. I don't know why the hell it went on so long, but it just did. I was in the fog, or in a rut, but mostly just too selfish to let it go and focus on my wife. Selfishness takes a toll. I have been entirely self-centered for a long time. I dropped flowers off at her apartment on my lunch break with a little note telling her to have fun with her friends tonight, and that I want to see her tomorrow. Hopefully the little things don't go unnoticed. And it makes her smile. Update: wife hung out with the other guy. They're just a friend. Up until now when they have hung out, they have always sat separately. Never touched, just hung out, or at least that is what I have heard. Today I asked her how they sat last night during the movie. They sat on the love seat right by each other. I jokingly ask about hand holding, and she says yes, they did. So, they are now being both physically and emotionally close. This changes the entire dynamic of their relationship. And she can never tell me they are just friends again. I am angry and hurt. And I knew it was coming, but I didn't think that 6 weeks from D-Day she would be already getting physically close to another man. It is only a matter of time before she goes fully physically with him. And that is something that I won't be able to tolerate while we are married, even if it is just a paper marriage at this point. This was not a part of our discussed separation agreement, but she told me. It just sort of happened. Yeah. It is funny how easy that happens, isn't it? Maybe she understands now that when a spouse refuses bonding for 3 years, these things just happen. In my case, I seek it out, but this feels very similar. She is betrayed feeling. And now all of a sudden, things just happen. I feel like she is just walking away now. I almost want to just implement the 180 myself, stop with all of the transparency and remorse, and just give her a bit of a cold shoulder. A reconciliation won't mean anything if she just wants to be with another man, which she clearly does. Perhaps it is time to just man up and file for divorce like I should have done 3 years ago before I went the infidelity route. Just a cheater's perspective, but I have never wanted to contact the OW so bad in my life. I feel a relapse coming just so I can talk to someone. I am fighting the urge, but it is so damn tempting to send her an email, especially since my wife is going to be gone for 3 days out of town, and the fact that she is now, in my opinion, actually dating the other guy. It sucks the most because I am the damn cause of it all too. I won't contact the OW, it would just salt the already open wounds. My wife made it clear in a few different arguments that she wants to sleep with someone else. I believe this will be the guy, as insane as that sounds. I am calling it right here and right now, and I will follow up the thread to see if it happens. She seems emotionally ready, and now physically comfortable enough with him to cuddle up and hold hands. She needs a high level of emotional connection to get physical, and this guy just pushes all of the right buttons for her. It sucks, but it is true. I am watching the demise of my marriage, and I am powerless to her actions. I quit making the right choice a long time ago. I can't even focus. I am shaking at work. It just feels all downhill from here. I won't be able to process her having a revenge affair. This is just nutting. My wife is officially away for a girls' weekend. We have been texting randomly. Most of it was really bad, and I was a jerk to her about the other guy. I told her I was going to date people too, and that really made her mad at me because I have already been there. Done that in the marriage. This is so damn hard. I need to be a stand-up marriage rebuilding guy, and I am struggling. I really am selfish. It is hard for me to disconnect from my own pity long enough to truly see the pain that she is going through. Need to be strong, need to be resilient. We both can get through this. I can be the strong, supportive husband she needs. I can do it. I can. I am dreading tomorrow when she comes home and we have a talk about our future. Is it time to let go? Do I keep fighting for her, even though she is going to go out and date, and probably have slept with someone else? I feel like this is a crossroads, and I don't know what to do. I certainly don't want to remain in the marriage we had, but I know that it can be fulfilling and amazing. I just don't know what to do. I am sick about it. I have been doing a lot of thinking, and I cannot go back to the marriage I was in. My wife does not feel like she was any part of the problem and has laid blame on me for any and every problem in our marriage. That isn't a healthy way to being reconciliation. I am going to let her go out and make mistakes, as you call them. If by some chance she wants to be with me again in the future, then I would certainly go for it. But things would need to be significantly different, and right now, I do not see anything changing. I am sad and sick and shaking right now. But I think letting her go is my best and only option at this time. I texted a bit with her tonight, talked about how sorry I was, and that the house is empty, lonely, and sad. I told her that I read a new book and realized that I have done a lot wrong, and I will work on being a better marriage rebuilder. I told her I felt like there were some serious things to discuss between her and the other guy that she is now beginning to be physical with. She told me she doesn't want to talk about it, and that she is completely angry that the focus has changed to her and the other guy instead of my cheating. I think there is a lack of respect there for her to not think that it is a big deal. I didn't text her back after her reply. I am not going to get drawn into a fight. I am going to stay calm, stay separated from that train of thought. And hopefully she will come to her senses that having a revenge affair probably isn't the best course of action to take. The reality is, though, that she is already well on the path, and I am just waiting for the day she tells me she has slept with him. I know it is coming. It feels inevitable. Throw in the towel? Sometimes I certainly want to, but it is too early. I will leave her alone and let her work through it. Tomorrow is another day. Duck this. Seriously, I just got drawn into a stupid conversation with her, and she hung up on me, refusing to talk about anything. She is hurt, and I fully understand that. But it is a sign of total disrespect to not even acknowledge her own actions and discuss them with me. I have answered every single question she asked me, even the most painful questions I have ever had. I gave a response to. She won't even take 10 minutes out of her night to talk to me about her feelings for another man after 6 years of marriage. Throw in the towel. I am done, at least for tonight. I am done. I will absolutely be the man I was supposed to be, if she will own up to her 50% of the marriage problems and be the wife I thought I married. If I had known going in that we would have had a good time, an average of 10 to 12 times per year, I would have never married her. Honestly, I want a reconciliation, because I love that woman. But thinking back to 6 years in hell with my manhood in a jar makes me think I should just file for divorce, cut the losses, and move on. I will play her wishy-washy game for a while longer. But at some point, if she won't own up to her own faults, then I have to move on. I can't handle the heavy lifting of both 100% of my cheating and 100% of the marriage problems. I will lift 150% all day long for the rest of my life if she will come to the table willing to do her 50% share. At this point, she is at 0% and blames me 200% for everything. I am pissed, I am angry. And I am so glad that I have this place that I can type this out because it stops me from sending her an angry text message. I hope in some way there will be a betrayed spouse out there who reads the words of a cheater who is honestly trying to reconcile their marriage and gains some good perspective from this thread. It has been helpful for me to read your replies and change my attitude and behaviors in some ways. But ultimately, I think I am still selfish and rude and just want what I want right now. Maybe R won't work for me. It scares me that I am going to take this baggage into another relationship someday. If I divorce, that is it. I am single for life. Angry, bitter rant over. I am sure it comes across. I resent her at times, and I resented her for years. It definitely comes across. My rational brain speaks these words that are true, such as I was selfish. I had a choice and I chose to cheat. My emotional disconnectedness made my wife not want to physically connect with me, rationally. I understand that, but the anger is there and the resentment is there. And it is hard not to just say, "Why didn't you want me? Why did you stay married to me and refuse me night after night after night?" I have major issues with women now. I kind of just assume that all women don't want a good time. And I can tell that I don't believe these women who talk about having a higher drive than their husbands. I roll my eyes and think they are all full of it. I have been conditioned to think that bonding does not exist in marriage. I have some deep-rooted issues to deal with before the R is going to happen successfully. I am honestly trying to deal with the cheating first and other issues second. But the physical thing really gets me going. And then add to it the fact that my wife is parading another relationship around in front of my face. And now refuses to talk to me about her relationship just pisses me off even more. It is a bad night, just a bad night. Emotional roller coaster is the understatement of the year for my life right now. I sent my wife a very short email this morning outlining the details of my week so there would not be any confusion on where I was. I am still trying to keep her in the loop with my actions so it doesn't further breed trust issues. To address a few things, I have told my wife many times during our marriage that I feel rejected. She always says she does want me, but I just don't believe her anymore. I used to want to believe her, but I honestly don't. As for letting we go, we didn't. I am young and fit and active. In fact, the stress from this whole ordeal has made me lose too much weight. I was about 170 pounds, and now I am 150. And I cannot gain weight back for the life of me. I have been running nearly every day too. I would say I am in the best shape I have been since I was 18 years old. So really, we never let ourselves go. I think she just has a low desire coupled with the fact that I emotionally disconnected from her. It is a chicken and the egg scenario. She believes I emotionally disconnected from her first, which caused her to physically shut down. I believe that I married her and was completely emotionally invested in her, but that the rejection and lack of physicality caused me to emotionally shut down. We each have very different recollections and feelings about the past 3 years at least, and really about our entire marriage history. At some point, do you just have to realize that you are no longer the same person you were 11 years prior? And you move on. That is so difficult to think about, but I just don't know what to do anymore. I was so fully into the R, but now I just feel like she is shut down and won't talk to me, and nothing I do changes it. I guess I just have to keep pushing forward and trying to talk to her and see where the cards fall. I have put all visits and communication between us in her hands for this week. We have counseling on Wednesday, and I wonder if we will even see each other between now and then. 1. Yes, I am certainly blame shifting, and even if I am not completely blaming her, I am asking her to own up to her side of the marriage's contribution. It is most likely too early to be doing that, and maybe it is a defense mechanism. I don't know, and I am trying not to do that to her. But it is hard. It is hard not to express how I feel. I need to get out of my own head and get into her head and just be supportive through all of this. 2. What I really want, at this moment, I honestly don't know. I know that it makes me physically ill to think of her not being in my life. I want her in my life. I am very concerned about the future, and I need to focus on the moment and the task at hand. But again, that is really hard. I do know for certain that I don't want our old marriage back. I do know for certain that I love that woman. I do not know what I want right now, and it is stifling any our efforts. 3. I certainly need to get my mind right and figure out what I want. I am trying to give her space. I believe she is coming over tonight to see the animals, and I will ask her if she sees a future with me after she goes out and has her own experiences. I can tell from her actions that she doesn't want to bail out completely. She isn't in a place to say that we can are yet though either. It is a strange limbo. And the not knowing is what is killing me. I need to focus on getting my head on straight while she goes out and does much of the same thing. Perhaps we can come back together and reconvene and decide if R is right for us. I just don't know how to do this. I am usually a very decisive person, but this has thrown my entire way of thinking for a loop. At times I am strong, and I am a good marriage rebuilder, but other times I am a whiny brat who blames shifts and questions every action of hers without understanding that she is really just reacting to the pain I have caused. I am 2 or more persons at any point in time, and it is soul-sucking and hard to just keep my head above water right now. As of Sunday, we are done with MC right now, and we will be seeing the counselor separately. I am going to continue with IC, and I believe she is too. I have been answering her questions fully, but the trust issue leads her to believe that I am lying. I have been answering her questions since D-Day, and I see nothing to gain by holding back on answers. Finger pointing is done. It isn't helping, obviously, and she feels blamed enough already for what has happened. I have my first solo counseling session tonight, and I am nervous for it, maybe anxious, not nervous. I just don't know what is coming down the line, and that makes everything really hard. Time is all we can count on right now. I think you are right about answering her, but not reaching out to her. That is so hard though, because I have been the one in the morning to send the first hello text message. If I don't send it, I feel like I am sending a sign to her that I don't want to communicate. Shutting down communication has been my biggest downfall and hardest thing to cope with. To address a few things, when she started dating this guy, I told her I would date, and that immediately blew up in her saying that I already had slept with 3 women, and she can't stand me doing it more. So, I told her I won't date anyone. She is in place to be told that there needs to be boundaries. Again, her anger is such that she feels completely justified in her actions. I feel that filing for separation or for divorce would only push her away. I think I need to wait a little longer before pulling that trigger. I still wonder if talking to her mom is the right thing to do. I am tempted to call her right now. I just sent this email to her response a while back. She was telling me to work on myself and that she needs time to process her own emotions. I hope this doesn't backfire. Yes, I will focus on myself. I know you need to focus on yourself as well. Please let me lend you some advice. My affairs have made me feel like a less respectable person, and someone who I don't like or believe in anymore. I don't want you to feel that way. You shouldn't compromise your moral standing based on a decision made from anger. If you really feel the need to be intimate with someone else in order to process my betrayal, then we really need to file for divorce or legal separation so you can move forward with a clean conscience. I am not pushing you away. I just hope for your own mental health's sake that you make better decisions than I did, and you don't go the route of an affair. Take your time. I did end up calling her mom. We have a good relationship, but the conversation did get a little heated. She has the best intentions of her little girl in her mind, that is for sure. I am pulling back. I need to leave her family alone, work on myself, let her affair or whatever it will become work itself out. I think I will be better with no contact. I don't feel the persistent urge to call her right now like I normally do. Post-counseling update. We focused a lot on my decision surrounding filing for divorce or not. The counselor pushed me to consider my reasoning before making such a life-altering decision. I talked to my wife tonight about that email I sent. She is firm in her feelings that she is not having an affair because we are separated. I told her that while we are married it is an affair, and I was going to file for divorce. She simply said, okay, and that was the last thing I said to her. I don't know what to do. Little update, my wife was offered a job that she really didn't think she was going to get. It is huge news for her, and something that I am really proud of her for even through all of the turmoil going on. I am taking her to dinner tonight. It will be bittersweet because we are going to celebrate the new job, but also discuss the terms of the divorce. Should be a strange one. Dinner went pretty well. It started off rocky on some heavy conversation, but we got past that and got on to having a pretty good time. It is so strange, because we joke with each other about the divorce and seeing other people and just make light of this terrible thing. I think we are doing it just so we can get through the night without bawling. Went to her place and watched a movie, and she fell asleep in my lap. When I got up to leave and come home, I asked if she still wanted me to file for divorce, and in a very sincere voice she said that she thinks it is best. I think the betrayal was too much for her to process and move past while still being with me. I feel hopeful in a lot of ways that our lives will come back together. I don't see us drifting completely apart either. We are too close and share too much to just cut the cord completely. Perhaps I am being naive, but I see us having some semblance of a relationship for a long time. I am going to finish the divorce documents and show her this weekend and get her advice on splitting the finances and furniture. We will work it out. I feel a sense of relief I think now that I know what direction we are moving. It isn't the direction I wanted to go, but there is peace in knowing that a direction has been chosen. Tomorrow is another day. And I will hopefully be in a good mental place and make it through okay. This has been the strangest few days of my life. We both seem resolved that the divorce is what needs to happen, but we are both taking it really hard. We talk a lot on the phone, not so much in person. She hasn't wanted to see me much. Today she was really angry at me. I completely understand, and I am just giving her space. This has been a lot to digest in 2 months, and the collapse of basically everything we knew has happened so fast that our heads are spinning. Tomorrow we are supposed to go to a movie together, but I have no idea if that will pan out or not. Monday could be the day to file. Strange, strange, strange. That is about all I can say to understand how I feel about what is going on right now. She has seen the papers. We have talked at length about it. Once I get my retirement information, I will have everything I need to file them. Perhaps filing will be the final straw that changes her resolve. I don't really know. At this point, though, we both feel and understand that this is the best option, and we are acting on it. Nothing has changed in the past few days since the decision was really made. Now I am just going to need to decide if my personal reason for divorce will be enough for me to justify it in the long run. I actually still hold on to a shred of hope that she and I will reconnect in the future and start a new life together. Maybe that is regret, or maybe that is wishful thinking. I can't decide. The whole idea of the revenge affair too. I know I came in heavy-handed, but I actually now believe that my wife's intentions are what she has told me. I don't believe what she is doing is a revenge affair. I have said that so many times now that it became what I called it. But really, I think she just needed someone to talk to and be close to. I believe her when she says they haven't done anything, and I believe her when she says that she does not have intentions of sleeping with the guy. I honestly still wonder if he is gay, which is what I have thought about him for a long time. Who knows? She does want to date, she does want to get experiences, and ultimately, we are getting a divorce. As far as letting her go through, that is a lot tougher. We talked yesterday, we have already talked today. I can't let her go. We have such a high level of communication that it is really difficult to say that even a divorce between us will cause us to completely detach. Perhaps I don't know how to detach. An update: the reality of the divorce being filed this week has fallen on my wife pretty hard. Her entire demeanor has changed. She won't stop texting me. She emails me a lot more, and she is telling me that I never fought for her. So, after her telling me over and over and over for weeks that she wants a divorce, once I finally do it, I become the bad guy who never fights for her. I don't get it. I am not playing games. I just want honesty. If she doesn't want the divorce, then don't tell me you want it day in and day out. If you do want the divorce, then don't fall to pieces when it happens. I don't like anything about this. I still haven't filed, and now I told her that I am just going to leave it for her to do. I don't want a divorce. I never wanted a divorce. And I don't think she wants it either. This just makes me feel insane. All of it. Like I am losing my mind. I have not filed for divorce yet. My wife told me she would take the papers I have prepared and file for herself. But again, it hasn't happened yet. Here is my take on the situation. My wife wants me to fight for her. I can feel it. She has told me to fight for her. And I know it is what she wants because when I am all in emotionally, she responds amazingly well. I need to keep up the fight because it is what I truly want. She has felt second best to my selfish behaviors for a long time, and I have a lot of ground to make up to put her on a pedestal and show her that she is my #1 effort in life. She may or may not be in some level of an EA with the other man, but it is not a PA. And it is most certainly not a revenge affair. I really believe that they are friends, and I have no reason not to believe her because she has been honest. I don't want to go into a lot of details, but religious differences, personal differences, and other things lead me to believe that their relationship won't progress beyond what has happened, and if it does, then I will cross that bridge when I get there. I am going to wait her out and see what happens. She isn't actively trying to date other people. She says she wants to, but who knows if she will go through with it. I am going to keep fighting for her and showing her that I can be the man she wants and needs in her life. I have betrayed her immensely, and it is only fair that her emotions are running high. And she may be saying things that she doesn't actually mean or intend to act on. I have received a lot of good advice here, and I will continue to come here for advice. I told myself in the beginning to wait at least 3 months before making any final decisions such as divorce. I have 1 month left. Nearly exactly. I owe that to her to show her who I am, what I can be, and what changes in my behavior will come about from my IC. Getting to the bottom of my own selfish behavior is going to not only improve my potential relationship with her, but all relationships in the future. I have to keep fighting for her though. I want her in my life. And I know we can be amazing together. I will be actively showing her what I can be and who I am for the next 30 days or more before I file any papers. I may slip between now and then and have a bad day, or one that makes me want to throw in the towel. But I honestly feel like I owe it to her and to us to keep working on things and see where they fall. I am keeping up the fight, her guard is up, and I don't think she expects too much, which is understandable. I told her I will not bring up divorce again for at least my new 3-month timetable. I told her she can file if she feels the need to, and I won't be combative, but I am not going to file for divorce. I also put my wedding ring on. She questioned my motives, and I told her it was to be a reminder to me of the fight I am pursuing, and that it is a constant reminder of what I have to lose if I don't fight hard enough for her. She hasn't filed, but she says she most likely will. I can't control her actions, and I don't plan to try. I am going to keep showing her who I am, who I can be through my positive actions, and hope that I will be or become a man that she respects and wants to spend her life with. Here is to hope. It has been 5 days of my new resolve and commitment to my marriage. What a roller coaster the past 5 days has been. We have had some of the best days possible, but also one of the worst fights that we have ever had on Sunday night. But overall, we were making amazing progress with each other, and had shared a few really great nights. When my wife started texting the OM a lot, I was snooping in her phone. I never found anything, but it always pissed her off that I was the one who had betrayed her, and that I was now checking up on her. Let me reiterate that I have never found anything. Well, about 2 weeks ago she locked her phone. She told me that she would remove the lock when I wasn't so compulsive and I could control myself from having to frantically search through it at any chance. I think I am projecting a lot of my own insecurities and behavior onto her. Now that I realize how easy it is to fall into an E, I worry about that happening. Well, last night I guessed her password after a few attempts, and she woke up to me snooping in her phone. This, of course, through our entire progress over the past few days. I didn't find anything either. So now I just feel a sheep and stupid for looking at it. My wife has never given me a reason to not believe what she tells me. She is honorable and trustworthy, and I believe the lock on her phone is simply there as a control over my OCD. It works too. I hadn't really even thought about her phone, but when she was sitting there asleep, I went for it. Not even sure why, but I did. At any rate, we now have this little bump to get over and get back on things moving forward normally. We are going on a mini vacation this weekend as a test to see if a summer vacation between us will work. If we can make it alone for 3 days in a hotel, then we stand a chance at making it on our annual summer trip to the Pacific Northwest, where I asked her to marry me. I am so focused on her, and I know exactly what I want. I want us. I know it is going to take a lot of work, but I am trying, with the exception of last night. I guess I have decided that the next time I am feeling extremely anxious about the and her phone, that I am just going to ask her if she will show me her phone. That would have been the better route. No more snooping behind her back, just ask for open honesty from her. She has nothing to hide, at least that I have ever found, so I can't see her denying me. But we will see. I have been completely open with her. She has access to everything of mine, including my work email. She is worried that I have started another fake email account, but I haven't, and I don't plan to. I want to show her that I can be honorable and trustworthy again. I want it so badly that I can taste it, but I keep sabotaging myself. I just need to keep moving forward, keep trusting her, keep showing her love, and ultimately just keep being hopeful. She wants me in her life. I know that for a fact. I think a true reconciliation is possible with her. She has been amazing through this entire thing, and that makes me even more sad about having done this to her and to us. She is everything I have ever wanted. Why didn't I see that before I made the mistakes I have made? We had a good session at counseling last night, first time in 3 weeks that she has come with me, and it went well enough that she was willing to schedule another appointment next week, which made me happy. We had dinner afterwards, and then we parted ways and slept at our own places. It was a nice night. I woke up feeling really good, and she seems like she is having a good day as well. We met at our local coffee shop this morning to get coffee before work, and things seemed pretty smooth. We are both looking forward to this weekend's mini vacation for my birthday. I really want it to go well. I really need to not sabotage myself. He actually came down on me pretty hard, saying that I need to work as hard to fix things as I used to work to hide things. He is good about calling me on my bull crap, and I appreciate that. I think that is what led to a good counseling session, because my wife didn't feel attacked at all, and she agreed with what he was saying about me and my behavior. I still have a lot to work on. I have some OCD issues and other things that I am really trying to get under control. What did I do years ago? Well, we got together in high school, so I guess all I really did was be nice to her and be good looking. Lol. We were truly the high school sweetheart story, so it is hard to look back to when I was 17 and know how to act now to get her back. We are both so different. I can tell you a few things about her. She loves to be loved. She loves to be treated well. She loves to be complimented, even though she plays them off. And I know how to make her smile. In fact, laughter is probably my biggest advantage. If I can get that girl laugh, then I am in with her. No contact with the OM will not be possible. They work together. She also will not stop being friends with him. We have already discussed this. She still wants to date other people. The only reason she hasn't pursued it is because I have been treating her well and spending time with her. Like I said, we aren't in R. In fact, we are still 1 foot in the grave of divorce. I have a fine line to walk for a while until she commits to me again. Right now, her guard is up, and she isn't committed to me. Her actions show that, as do her words. It frustrates me, but I can't do anything about it right now. Both of us are still moving one day at a time. She is still in her apartment, and we still have regular sleepovers. Rarely do we sleep apart. The apartment feels like a safe place, some sort of middle ground that isn't tied to our lives and the life we had prior to D-Day. The divorce word hasn't really come up at all in the past few weeks other than one terrible night, but I think ups and downs are to be expected. I still don't know what will happen, but for now I am working on being the husband I should have been, and she is reacting so positively to my actions that it reinforces how much I want to be a part of her life. She gives me really good positive feedback in body language and her mood, and regardless of what she says. I think that we are in some sort of R. We talk about the future sometimes, about how we will sell our house and start over in a new place. Really try for a new start, work on our marriage, actually, have a marriage. We have also talked a lot about kids, which up to this point we have both been on the same plane of not wanting them until a little later in life. I have found spirituality inside me that has been buried for a long time. It feels nice. I am feeling positive about where we are. Tomorrow could be different, who knows? That is the nature of this roller coaster. I am willing to ride it out though. I am here for the long haul and feel like there is nowhere but up to go from here. Another weekend gone, I ended up going to visit some family about 2 hours away from home on Friday to keep my mind off my wife and her night out with friends. Originally, she was going to drive part way on Saturday morning, and I was going to meet her and drive her back up there to do some boating on Saturday afternoon. To keep things short, our conversations dissolved on Friday night when she got home from hanging out, because I was a jerk to her. And I ended up driving all the way back home at 2 a.m. The next morning, after about 4 hours of sleep, I was able to convince her to drive back up to the lake with me. Saturday ended up being a lot of fun in spite of the situation. Sunday was good too. Spent time with family and did dinner and a movie. She is having a hell of a time though. Leaving the movie was rough last night. She told me that she never quits thinking about what I have done. She doesn't know if she will ever be able to cope with it. I have been so needy lately that I worry that she doesn't respect me. I need to stop worrying about what she is doing and just focus on supporting her during this insane emotional time. My insecurities are getting the best of me most of the time. As for the counselor and the separation, my wife isn't convinced that separation is a good idea either. We have talked about it this week since her last counseling session, and we are going to talk about it in our next MC session this week. I am going to express my interest in not doing a separation and say that the apartment serves the purpose of providing her a safe place away from the marriage home that she can relax. Who knows what will come from that? The decision to stay or to go is weighing very heavily on my wife. Here we are exactly 3 months to the day away from D-Day. Originally, I asked her not to make any decisions for at least 3 months. Now that it has been 3 months, I still feel nowhere near ready to know what is going on. This process is going to take some serious time. She is still talking to me today, which is a good sign. I understand her feelings are natural. I pulled the rug out from under her entire life. I can't even believe I did this. I think back now to problems in our marriage, and I want to go back in time and shake the man I used to be, show him what he has to lose, and how selfish and stubborn he is being. It is insanity. I honestly cannot believe I did this horrible thing to the person I love. It has been nearly a month since my last update. Things are still moving along. We have had some of the best times and the worst times in the past few weeks. Just got back from another extended weekend away that went really well, even with a few hiccups and sad moments. My wife is still struggling to come to terms with the betrayal, and we haven't landed ourselves in a full R. But we are not divorced either. Somewhat of a limbo state, but I feel like it is a fairly stable one. I still don't know where we will land, but we are at least moving. Right now, that is all I can ask for. 2 months later, as of today, we are still together. I guess this is our started to our reconciliation. My comment: what do you guys think about this happy ending? I just wanted to provide a story where things can be fixed after mistakes, sometimes. I'm making a turkey after this video. Hope you guys stay warm and safe for this Christmas. And back to more videos for tomorrow.